Hi everyone, welcome back. I have been gone for a few months, but now we're here. So today I thought I'd do an updated record collection video because I have added a lot of stuff to my collection, but I've also taken a lot out. So it's essentially a brand new collection. So if you've been here before, you're probably going to see a lot that you hadn't seen in the past. I have just decided that I'm going to do my box sets in a separate video because a lot of them are not records. I think that would be interesting to do separately. I don't have a ton, but I have 5 or 6 that are really cool, and I definitely do want to add to that collection as well. So hopefully you'll enjoy that. So just in the order of them coming off the shelf is how I'm going to do them. Generally we try to keep these alphabetical, but things happen. So if you guys don't know from my past record collection videos, this is a collection between my husband and myself. We generally don't try to keep duplicates of the same record, even if it's something we're both into. But you also have things that my husband is into that I'm not necessarily, but this is going to be combined. Now, that being said, I have a lot more music than he does because I listen to a lot of different things. Where he only listens to a few different bands as a general rule. So this is one of his records. This is A Perfect Circle. I also like A Perfect Circle, by the way. His vinyls are always going to be sealed because he doesn't necessarily actually play them. I know I've heard recently that you're not supposed to keep them in the cellophane, so I don't know about that, but I haven't convinced him of that yet. So you have A Perfect Circle, and this is their newest album, Eat the Elephant, and this is actually the white version. It was like a special edition, yeah, limited edition white vinyl. Now some of these records have a story behind them, how we found them, and that's the really cool thing about collecting vinyl. This one we got on our, was it our honeymoon? No, it was our first anniversary trip to Savannah, Georgia. My favorite record shop probably ever, just because of where it's located. I love Savannah, and it's also a curiosity shop, and they have their own vinyl, they have their own label, record label. So this is actually one of their in-house, I believe. This is Kalisa, I think is how you say it. But this is a limited edition split 2-color random mix vinyl. There were only 300 copies of this made. We actually had never heard of this band when we went there, but they were playing it through the sound system, and we actually both really loved it. So we picked up this as well as a CD from them, and it's just one of those things that, I don't know, has a lot of memories associated with it. So this is Ben Howard. I love Ben Howard. I think I first heard him when watching The Walking Dead. They had one of his songs. I looked into him and I love his music. It's just very chill, kind of dark and melodic. Really, really like it. This is not my favorite album, but I have not picked my favorite album by him up yet. This is Every Kingdom. Also a good album. As you can see, it is still sealed. So my vinyls, the reason why some of those are sealed is because my record player is currently broken. I pretty much just kept my new records in their packaging until I get a new record player. If you have any suggestions for a good record player, not just one that looks cute, I actually wanted to upgrade anyway before it broke, so leave your comments down below on one that I should look into that is not going to break the bank. I'm trying to keep it within hopefully a couple $100s, a few hundred, if it's really worth it. But yeah, leave your comments down below, and I would love to hear what you guys say about record players. Anyway, moving along. This is one that I've had forever. This is Johnny Cash at Folsom Prison. This was one of my first vinyls. My grandmother actually passed it on to me. I do love Johnny Cash. How could you not? But this is, to me, just like a classic. Now I have 2 Dead Weather albums. I really enjoy this band. I don't know what it is. It's kind of experimental. It is from Jack White of the White Stripes. There are 2 singers. One of them is Jack White and one of them is a woman. I don't know her name. I actually don't know any of the other people's names in this band. I'm normally not like that with bands where I know everybody's name. This is a really cool gatefold vinyl. It's very well played because I just love listening to this record specifically on vinyl. I believe this was their first album, Whorehound. And then this is their most recent album. This is, I don't remember the name of this one, Dodge and Burn. And I have listened to this once right before my record player broke, I think. This was one of the last records that I had heard. But also really good, but if you are just getting into them, I would definitely recommend this album. Whorehound, I do think it is going for a little bit of money right now. Last I checked, it was a little expensive. But yeah, it's just one of my favorites. Alright, so now we have Gerard Way's Hesitant Alien. This is not a limited edition version or anything, but I do still have it in the packaging because I didn't know how to feel about opening this at first, and then when I decided I probably did want to play it, then my record player broke, so yes, Gerard Way's Hesitant Alien. I do love this album. It reminds me quite a bit of like a 70s pop, if that makes sense, like futuristic, kind of very experimental, I don't know. Bowie, I don't know. It just really reminds me of that. Next we have Predator. We got this obviously on sale, but not much of a sale because it was FYE. So it was originally marked $60. We got it for $50 is what it is, but this is a really cool copy for Predator. This is the Green Predator Blood. Limited edition to 750 copies. You know I'm coming at you with the My Chemical Romance. So first, just because it's the top of the pile, I have the My Chemical Romance May Death Never Stop You, and this is, I think this is, yeah, the Hot Topic exclusive. I can't remember what color this was supposed to be. It doesn't say on the label. I probably will either not open this or open it and put it directly into like a protector, because this is basically a greatest hits album. There's a couple of new songs on it, but that's what that looks like. The cover art is really cool in that one though, and I was really salty when it came out. So I have first a repress for the Hot Topic version of I Brought You My Bullets, You Brought Me Your Love. This is the red and white vinyl. So I have that. That one is not opened because I have had this one since I was a teenager. This one is open. This is the first pressing, and it is the red version. I don't know what to say about this album besides, if you know me, you know I have played this over and over and over again without shame. I love this album, absolutely, and it's probably another one of my favorite albums to listen to on vinyl. It just sounds really cool. It's very kind of garage band sounding. If you know them, their first album was kind of more raw, and I just really enjoy this on vinyl. Next we've got the Revenge album, 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge. It's black on black in the back. You can kind of see the words reflecting there. If I remember correctly, I liked that they had that in there, just kind of like the notes and everything. So if I remember correctly, okay, I thought I had the black version, the regular black, but I do have the translucent red. It's been a while since I played this album, but it is one of my favorite albums. I really love My Chemical Romance, if you didn't know. Now you do. Alright, so next, this is Social Distortion. I bought this. This is the Record Store Day album, I believe. Yeah, it's on blue vinyl. I've always loved Social Distortion. There's just something about them, like the rockabilly old school sound mixed with kind of punk influence. I don't know. I bought this at Fantasyland in Atlanta. Really love that shop. If you've ever been to Atlanta, if you ever want to go to Atlanta and you're into vinyl, I definitely recommend checking out that shop, although there's a lot of really good shops around, but this shop specifically has some really rare things. We bought more, not this specifically as rare, but we bought some really rare albums there, and everybody is super nice. They even have old show posters. I bought a show poster from the first concert that I ever went to there, from back in like 04 or 05. They still had a copy of it, which was really cool because it was not a huge band. So one of my husband's favorite bands is Mastodon. So we've picked up several copies of Mastodon albums. So this first one we bought at Fantasyland as well, it looks like, and it's Blood Mountain. Their artwork is really cool. Then there is Crack the Sky. This is the album that they played in its entirety on the Unheavenly Skies tour they did with Coheed, where we recently went and got to meet Coheed, and it was really awesome. But Mastodon was really awesome as well, and they played this album in full. So this one is Mastodon the Hunter. It's also completely sealed. Again, he doesn't, I think part of it is he wants to keep these stickers on there and everything intact, which is, you know, up to him. But this one, I was trying to see if any of these are special editions. Okay, so the Crack the Style was the limited blue edition, which you probably saw. The Hunter, doesn't look like the Hunter is a limited edition at all. Then we, of course, have Mastodon Atlanta picture disc. And that was a record store day release. This is Mastodon the Motherlode, also a record store day release. And their artwork is really, really neat, so it's always cool to get their picture discs. Alright, so then we have some Mastodon limited editions, and I am not going to take this out because the packaging is already kind of wonky. It has been opened, though we did buy this secondhand because apparently it's hard to find, at least in good quality. But as you can see, it's still got some issues. But this is Mastodon Once More Around the Sun. And it is really, really a neat album. We also have 2 copies of this. So there is this one that is signed that I think everybody got if you ordered the limited edition version of this. This is Remission. We got this actually at a show a couple of years back. It is a really interesting style and layout. So instead of being an actual gatefold, you have these sleeves that come out and then the booklet that sits on top. So these are not a translucent red, but just like an opaque red, I guess you would call it. Yeah, and here's the booklet with some artwork and stuff in it. So there's this one, and then we also have a second copy of the clear vinyl. So the clear vinyl was only given out to friends and family, not very many of them were made. I'm not actually sure how many. They both are open because before we bought the clear vinyl we wanted to make sure that it was the clear version. So the owner, we bought it on eBay, the owner opened it up, it was the clear vinyl, so we bought it. But I am not going to show you both because there's really no reason. They're the exact same thing except for the color of the vinyl. Next we have Metallica Through the Never. My husband really enjoyed the Through the Never movie, so of course we had to get the soundtrack. This is the red, white, and black colored vinyl. As you can see, we paid $37 for it. I don't remember where we got this. I want to say it was Criminal Records in Little 5 Points, but this is a good standard, I guess, for any Metallica fan. And then another Mastodon one that I missed. This is Mastodon. I believe this is also, yeah, this is also the Hunter. Okay, so these are 2 versions of the Hunter. This one is definitely heavier than this one. So this is the 180 gram 2-disc set, and this one is not. So I don't think they're colored vinyl either. I don't see any markings that say that. I believe that's all the Mastodon for now. Next I have Jonathan Davis. I bought this at FYE as well. I was just kind of intrigued about this because I'd never heard any of his solo music. It is actually really good. Again, this is another one of my newer ones that I have not listened to on my record player. But yeah, so yeah, this is a really cool one. It is not a limited edition or anything like that. I just kind of wanted to have it in my collection. Alright, so these are probably my favorite thing in my collection right now, just because I am definitely in a Coheed and Cambria mood as of the last, like, I don't know, 6 months, year, ever since this came out, basically. So this was an amazing, amazing album. I don't know if it's my favorite album from them, but it's definitely pretty high up there. The world building in this album is amazing. Anyway, I digress. This is the limited 3 LP set for Exclusive Red. This was the, I think, web only order. They did several different variants. I'll include pictures since these aren't open. I'll include pictures of what each set looks like. This is the Tiger's Eye colored. So this is a really vibrant yellow. It's actually really beautiful. Again, they all look the same, but this is the Tiger Eye variant. And then this is the 3 colorway. This was the pre-order only. So this one is really cool as well. If I was to get rid of any of the others, if I have to like narrow down my collection in the future, if I need money, this is probably the one that I would keep just because it is, you know, 3 different colors. I also bought the True Ugly version. It is on the way from Russia. That is the European, I don't know if it was a pre-order or not, but that is the European release of this album. It's really cool, like brown smoke colored vinyl. I saw it at the show and I thought it was the one that I needed for my collection, but we didn't really have time because we didn't want to hold up the line, so I let it go, and now I'm ended up paying double what I could have paid at the show for it, but that's okay. That's okay. My collection will be complete and I will have all of them. I'm normally not a completionist. I don't generally buy every single colorway of an album, but if it's one that I specifically love, I'm gonna do that. And you'll see I've done that with other things as well. So this is the 21 Pilots Blurry Face. This one is a really cool splatter variant. It is still sealed. I'll insert a picture of what it looks like. So this is the black and white. I think it was a Hot Topic variant. Not quite sure, because I bought this secondhand. One of my absolute favorite albums that I have in my collection right now is the 21 Pilots Blurry Face live album. Now this is not super rare. You can find it if you're looking for it, but I feel like it's hard to find them in good condition. Even this one is a little worn, but it's even harder to find one that works. And this is what I mean by that. So it actually plays when you open it, and I know this has been done before, but I had not personally seen it. Not gonna start that again, but it's just really cool. It's a 2 LP set, live at the Fox. I'm not sure if it's the Fox Theater that is in Atlanta or not. It doesn't actually say, but it'd be cool if it was. Either way, I wasn't there. But they are actual picture discs as well. So I'll show you one. So that is what one of the discs looks like, and as you can see, that's Josh. Very cool. A very cool release, and if you find one for under 100, snatch it up. Or 21 Pilots. So I did the same thing. I bought 3 albums. I was so excited for this release because, as you know, they were on hiatus and then they came back and they released this album, and I'm actually really glad that I did do this because it is one of my favorite albums of this past year, at least so far. So I bought the Olive Green. I think this was the web only pre-order. No, this was the indie. This was the indie release pre-order. I guess it's Warner Brothers that's doing this, like different outlets get different things, which is smart on their part because people like me are gonna buy all of them. So this one is the exclusive yellow. This was their web only pre-order on their store. And then of course I got the Urban Outfitters limited edition. This is the yellow olive swirl color. And I do really like Urban Outfitters pressings. As a general rule, I think they're really cool. They normally try to find colors that mesh well with the album. Of course, obviously yellow and olive is kind of the thing, and they just put the two together. So this might not be the best representation of that. You might think it's very obvious, but I think it's gorgeous and it's beautiful and I love it. So next I have 2 albums that are kind of related, kind of not. Well, I say kind of not, they are related. So this is an autographed copy of Blue October's I Hope You're Happy. This is a limited release. I think it was etched, not sure. Maybe it was just signed. Can't remember. Not etched, so it was just the fact that it was going to be signed. I got this on their website. They did not sign it in person, of course, but I did get Justin's autograph, and actually the whole band's autograph on a book that I bought at their show. I don't generally like buying vinyls at a show. If I had a clip of this guy at the Coheed show getting his vinyl absolutely destroyed, I would insert it here. Please be aware that if you buy something, it's probably going to get smashed at a show unless you're in the front row, and even then, you run the risk. Anyway, just my PSA for today. Also bought Justin Furstenfeld's Open Book Winter album. Now this is a really, really good storytelling album. It's about his journey. It's songs from his early career to now, and he kind of tells the story throughout the album of his life, and it's a really interesting, very interesting listen. If you've not heard about his life before, there is a documentary coming out. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's called Get Back Up, I believe. There is a trailer out now. I think it's on Blue October's YouTube page. But it's really inspiring. Love this album. Next we have the Prizefighter Inferno. This is also signed by Claudio. This is the side project for Claudio of Coheed and Cambria. It's really interesting because it's kind of an electronic version of, I guess, Coheed, basically. So it's a really nice, bright, vibrant, golden color vinyl. This is the vinyl that somebody had ripped. It was in shreds. The cover was off. The slip was torn to pieces. I would have cried. That guy was drunk. I'm sure he'll regret it later in the morning. But these are very limited edition. I know you can get them at his shows, but I'm not sure if you can get them anywhere else, at least not firsthand. So the fact that this was torn up is a shame. Mine even has a little bit of wear because we were traveling from out of town and it got messed up. But I'm really excited to have this in my collection. This is called, I think this is My Brother's Blood Machine is the name of the album. If I'm not mistaken, it's not on here anywhere. But pretty positive on that. And real quick, I'm just going to go through these. We have the fabulous Johnny Cash, Grease. We have the Misfits, I can't read that. Alive, I think is what it says. But it has some of my favorite songs from them. Very cool. Astro Zombies is one of my favorites. I have one Slipknot album. I definitely need to add more to my collection. All Hope Is Gone. I do really like the cover of this, how it has that matte but then the glossy design on it. Pretty cool. This is just the standard black vinyl, I believe. But it's still a really cool edition. I've listened to this a ton. I have Necromantics, Return of the Living Dead, or Loving Dead, sorry. Picked this up unexpectedly, actually, at a really cool record shop in Gatlinburg a very long time ago. Frank Sinatra, Nevertheless I'm in Love with You. Stevie Nicks, Belladonna. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Southern Accents is this album. Gotta have my Billy Idol. Whiplash Smile. Bob Dylan, Hard Rain. Astro Creeps from Rob Zombie, Live. This is another very, very new one that I've gotten in my collection. The Last of Us from Mondo. We had the large box set for this, but we did recently sell that item. Death Stranding from Mondo. If anybody has seen the recent trailer for this game, it looks pretty weird and pretty epic. Kamikaze by Eminem. This is the olive green Urban Outfitters pressing. Then I have a couple of Poppy albums. I actually bought, so this is the only, I think the only version that I had of this one. I might have had both, but this is the one that I'm keeping for sure. This is Poppy.Computer. This is the Urban Outfitters limited edition pink vinyl. So they only made, I think, maybe 300 copies of this. And then the Am I Girl album from Poppy. This is also the Urban Outfitters exclusive red translucent. I did end up getting 2 of these. I also got the one on her website that is the marbled, but I am giving that to a friend. Alright, so next I've got another Mondo release. This is for Fifth Element. If you guys know me, that's one of my absolute favorite movies. Don't know why, just is. So I had to get this one. This is the orange and white variant. I can't find anywhere on it that tells that. Maybe the barcode, not sure. And then we have the Babadook. This one is really interesting because I'll insert a photo. There is a pop-up in the middle of it, just like the pop-up book from the movie. So that's pretty cool. I got a Fear Factory album. This is my first music on vinyl edition. I got this at a local record shop. I wanted to try out a brand new record shop that I had never been to in my town, and it was a pretty cute little place. So picked this up. I found out about music on vinyl, by the way, from somebody on here that you guys might know, Mr. Hall of Fame. Mr. H of Fame, I think is his handle on YouTube, and he has really great haul videos. He has really informative videos about vinyl. So I've learned a lot from him, actually, from watching his videos, and he's so chill. I love just putting on his videos. It's like hanging out. So thank you for that. Next I have a Billy Joel album. This is not Mr., but Piano Man. Picked that up, I think, at a garage sale pretty recently. This is a Mondo Alien box set. And I know I said I wasn't going to do the box sets, but I'm talking like the bigger box sets. You'll see what I mean. Alright, so everything on the other side of that Alien album are albums that I am trying to currently sell. So as you can see, my collection is not going to be super, super big. Oh wait, I do have some more albums in this little album holder that I bought recently. Hold on. So I don't know what this thing was normally supposed to be used for. Maybe this is the actual use for it. I was thinking maybe magazines. Not sure, but I saw it at a thrift store, and I'm probably going to like redo it, like refinish it, but for now, I think it's actually really cute to hold my album. So I had to pick this up. This is Youngblood live in Atlanta. I missed this show, and now I'm super bummed that I did. I mean, it looks like it was a really fun show. So that is that. Next I have Billie Eilish's When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go? I did get the glow-in-the-dark version. This one I opened even though I couldn't play it because I was super excited to see it. It's giving me some trouble getting out of the sleeve, so I'm just not gonna force it, but pretty cool. Next I have Korn, The Paradigm Shift. And this is the limited edition picture disc. Same on both sides. I want to say this was a record store day release, not positive. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below, if you feel like it. And the other album is the same. I couldn't remember. But yeah, I love Korn. I need more Korn in my collection. Next we have Stevie Nicks again. I don't remember. This is called The Wild Heart. I think I just pulled some random albums and put them in here because it was overflowing on this shelf and I didn't want to go up to the next shelf, to be honest. Next I have Pulp Fiction. Even though this looks like it is in the original sleeve, I mean it is in the original sleeve, but I've played this so many times. This is Pulp Fiction. This is the 60th anniversary vinyl, and I remember getting this at Hastings when we used to have a Hastings here. I don't even know if that's a company anymore, but I used to love that store. And this soundtrack is fire. I love this soundtrack. Speaking of amazing soundtracks, The Watchmen, another one that I've listened to so many times. The inside is cool, it's just that. And I know a lot of people hate on this movie, but I actually really enjoyed this movie. It looked really cool, the acting was great. Sure, the storyline was a little weird, but I just freaking loved it. I love the characters and the grittiness and the soundtrack. The soundtrack was amazing. It was so many different mixes of genres, but they all did kind of fit together. Really good. Really good. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into the 7 inches and the singles and the picture discs that I had sitting out. So this is another Mastodon. Thought we were done with them. We were wrong. This is the Cold Dark Place. Really cool. Actually, it's kind of hard to see. Even in person, it's very dark to see. Then I have AFI Limited Edition Miss Murder. The sleeve has seen better days, but I actually think the album is in good condition. It's kind of hard to tell, and I'm not taking it out. I've never played this, but it's been through several moves with me, so I'll probably never get rid of it just because it's been with me for a long time. I also have the Poppy Die Cut Time Is Up album. I just really liked the look of this album. I don't know what it is. I'm a sucker for packaging and stuff like this, so yeah. Now we have Him, The Kiss of Dawn. It was a picture disc kind of thing. I also have Him, Solitary Man. This is etched, if you can see, hopefully. Now this one obviously needs to be cleaned. Don't freak out at all the lint on it. Some of these have been through a lot and may never play, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to keep them and remember like the memories that I had with them, you know? Okay, so Cry Little Sister, this is a Mondo release, and this is on, I believe it was the red vinyl. I know one of them got sold out super fast and I was so mad about it, but this is actually one of my favorite movies. I know people go on rants about how this movie sucks, but I love it and I love the soundtrack, so there. Another Him vinyl. This is a clear, glittery vinyl. This is Vampire Heart. I actually really love this song. And inside it's got the original sticker, because I've never actually opened this. Well, it is opened, I guess, but let's see. Oh, you know what? I didn't even realize. Do you see the heartograms on that? It's pretty neat. So, like I said, some of these probably not in the best condition, may never play, but I probably wouldn't replace them anyway because I'm just kind of out of Him. I don't think I've listened to in forever, but I do have so many memories with it that I kind of like to look at them. Got another Mastodon album. This is Toe to Toes, unopened. We've got another Mondo album. This is Last of Us Part 2. This I picked up very recently, and I think they had it marked down to $5. This was the White Stripes, There's No Home for You Here. I don't know if it's not actually sealed, so let's see. It's a nice matte cover. I was hoping it was some kind of a special, because we're finding out so much today about my collection that I didn't even know. It's not a special edition or anything. Still kind of cool. Then we have Metallica, and this came out of, if you see over here, this is like a magazine. So this is the first 30 years. There's So What Live and Through the Never Live. So it's just a cool little single that came with a magazine. This is another Mastodon album. This is American Heritage. And looks like a pretty neat picture disc type thing. Here is a band, Nations Afire, The Uprising. And this is on clear vinyl. Gerard Way Pinkish Don't Try. It's on red, pink, and purple splattered vinyl. This was a record store day release, I believe last year, maybe the year before. This has been with me, again, for forever. This is 115 out of 300. This is 69 Eyes Gothic Girl. I don't even know if this plays anymore. I think I played it one time. It is on red translucent. Looks like it's actually in perfect condition. Just the outer sleeves are not, but that's why we put them on there, right? That poster that I was talking about from the first concert that I'd ever been to, that was actually a 69 Eyes show. In the original, maybe not original, but the old Roxy location. I went to that show and I found a poster from that show from I think 05 or something like that. They played with Cradle of Filth and it was a really cool show, and it was kind of neat to get that and have that memorabilia. So this is another one that will stay in my collection forever. I still listen to the 69 Eyes, I love them. And don't know why we have two versions of this. I think because we had 2 subscriptions to Revolver at one point, but we have 2 copies of this album, Toe to Toes. This was a Revolver special release, I do remember that now. So I had a copy, and then my husband pre-ordered this with his subscription, and we got 2. So that is all of my vinyls right now. I do have several coming in because I have a problem. I'm working on it. And I also do kind of narrow down my collection every so often, but I think I've got it to the point right now that besides the ones that I already have listed for sale, I think this is kind of what it's gonna stay at least for a little while. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I will do my box sets next, as well as a thrift haul coming to you guys soon. Let me know if you want to see tours of my shelves or anything like that, because I do have some really cool stuff. Again, we've been narrowing down that collection, so what we have left is pretty much the stuff that my husband and I really love. So if you like any of that, let me know in the comments down below, and let me know what your favorite albums are that I have, as well as a record player recommendation, because I really need those. Please, please, please leave me a comment down below about a record player. Please. I will see you guys next time.